Hello and a warm welcome back to our launch of the Coronavirus Challenge. So we've just done a 30-minute webinar live on Facebook giving you information about the Coronavirus Challenge, and the website is www.thecoronaviruschallenge.com. And that website isn't quite ready just yet for those of you who are tuning in live. We just need a bit more time, and it will come. I've just been told that it will be ready at 8 p.m. today. So the website will go live at 8 p.m. today, 8 p.m. UK time, which is 9 o'clock European time. That's when the Coronavirus Challenge will be ready. We've just had some technical issues because organizations like Facebook and Zoom are so overwhelmed with bandwidth right now that the technical things that we normally can do are being compromised. So once again, the Coronavirus Challenge will launch at 8 p.m. UK time today, when the first module will be available on how you can boost your immune system to overcome the coronavirus. So what I'm going to do right now, as we wait for that to be launched, is I'd like to answer some of your questions. Okay. Now I will be open with you straight away. I am not a virologist, I'm not an immunologist, so I may not be able to answer some of your specific questions about the coronavirus. But what I can do is talk about the lifestyle change that you can make right here, right now, to boost your immune system. And you know, the number one is mind. Yeah. Okay, from doctors and our physios and people around us, we hear, come on, you've got to have a good diet. You need to exercise well. You need to get a good night's sleep. And we hear these throwaway comments, but we don't really do much about it. Now, of course, those things are incredibly important, and we'll go into detail of the exact things you can do to boost your immune system. That we will definitely do. But the missing part of the jigsaw that often isn't explained to people is that what goes on in here directly impacts on your immune system. And studies have shown that when you get stressed or anxious, the number of lymphocytes, so the white blood cells, instantly drops. The resources given to your immune systems drop. So we're in a very difficult time like this. We want to make sure that we're not getting dragged down emotionally from what we see and hear and read, and instead we're being uplifted. And over the coming weeks, we'll be doing more of these Facebook Lives where we can get together and look at what can we do as a civilization, as a human race, as a family, as a community, to keep our spirits up through these challenging times. And we're hearing great stories of people overcoming adversity and people being of service to their fellow man and woman, where people are showing incredible acts of bravery or supporting people around them in their communities. This is the opportunity that is given to us. Without a villain, there can be no hero. So let's take some of your questions now. So in the Q&A box, so not in the Q&A box, in the comments section, of course, I will just take some of your questions. So I'm just going to find some of these now. Okay, so I can see your questions here, which is great. And of course, I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. So on the comment section, if you'd like to share where you're tuning in from, that would be wonderful. So we say hello to a few people. And of course, please do share this on your Facebook timelines, share it with people around you. It's always great to get this message out there. And give me some hearts. I always like to see the hearts going across the screen. Gritje from Belgium, welcome to you. Rachel from Sonoma in California. Gritje says, what to do if you're already affected by the coronavirus? Okay. Now, obviously, this is a very difficult question for me to answer because I'm talking about preventative care here. But obviously what matters is that you follow the protocols that your particular health service is telling you to follow. From a lifestyle perspective, if you get symptoms of the virus, then we don't want to exercise at that point, because studies show that when we have a virus like a cold or a flu, exercise at that point makes it worse because it's an extra stress on your system. So that's where the advice shifts and changes. We still want to eat healthily and boost our immune system, so the dietary advice that we give in the Coronavirus Challenge remains the same. Okay, but in terms of exercise, we don't want to do any hardcore exercise. In terms of sleep, having a virus impacts on our sleep. So the same knowledge about having a good night's sleep will apply for those of you who actually have the virus. Okay. In terms of mind, absolutely. By following the instructions in the challenge, we've given you loads of different meditations and exercises that you can use to calm your mind straight away. And all of it is free. And these meditations and exercises have been shown to reduce the number of viruses you get, and even once you have a virus, the number of days that you have with it. As an example, a 2015 Harvard study, a groundbreaking study, followed 2,000 people for a year and looked at how many times they visited a doctor or a hospital. They then taught them meditation, just 20 minutes a day of stimulating the deep relaxation response. And they followed them for another year. They found that there was a 42% drop in the number of visits to a doctor or a hospital. Now, isn't that incredible? A 42% drop in your usage of medical facilities simply by 20 minutes of meditation a day or deep relaxation, whatever works for you. So once again, if you have the virus, meditation, I believe, can still support the immune system. Okay, so coming on to some more of your questions here. Amy asks, is walking in your neighbourhood as effective as going into a forest? In some ways, yes, because there are two aspects to the immunity or the immune benefit that you gain. One is the physical activity. So the physical activity that you gain in starts moving, getting the circulation going, supports the lymphatic system, and therefore that's one benefit. The second benefit is an unknown benefit. It's more happening at an energetic level. When you walk near an ocean or in a forest, there is something that perhaps the medical profession wouldn't really be able to measure, but there is an energetic effect. I mean, how do we feel when we go on holiday? Where do we tend to go on holiday? We tend to go to a beach or a mountain, right? Or somewhere where there is beautiful nature, because we know it makes us feel good. And we've lost that art of forest bathing or swimming in the ocean, which really rejuvenates our system. So it's time to get out of our little boxes as much as possible and actually connect with nature. If you can't do that, if you can't go for a walk in your local park, then still walking in your local neighbourhood is still of benefit to your immune system. Okay, so I'm just going to see some more of your questions here. Debbie from Calgary, welcome to you. Lovely to see you. Judith from Holland. Eleanor from Chicago, good to see you. It's great to see we've got people from all over the world tuning in. Sarah says, how can we help our friends and family understand how powerful your coronavirus challenge will be? Well, that sounds like a planted question, doesn't it? But I can assure you that was not a planted question. You know, this is where you lead by example. When you get excited by the changes that you can make in your lifestyle and they see you getting some exercise and energizing your body and moving, and they see you meditating and they see you making the effort, they'll wonder, what's this person's secret? How come they've got a smile on their face? I want some of that. And by osmosis, they will want to do some of the things that you're doing. And we can make these collective activities. So they say a family that eats together stays together. And a family that meditates together stays together. So now we are with our families. We often might be in different rooms, all on our different devices. But perhaps once a day we can come together and do some stretches and yoga. But most importantly, do some meditations. And as I said, I'm providing you with about 20 different 10 and 20 minute meditations that you can do together or by yourself, which will allow your nervous system to relax, which then correspondingly allows your immune system to rejuvenate itself. Jerry-Ann from New York, welcome to you. Sharon from Oregon. Kathy from Jamaica. Very exotic. Mar asks, any specific advice for people with chronic fatigue syndrome who are limited in terms of walking and exercise? Yes, I would love for you to stretch. So this is about movement. It's not only about the act of physical walking. So what kind of gentle stretches can you do if you're, say, bedbound or housebound? All of these make incremental changes. And something else on exercise that I want to share with you. You know, a lot of the studies that I'm going to be quoting in the coronavirus challenge, they've actually been conducted on the elderly. So the way that we see the news media right now, it feels like, well, if you're elderly, you're in trouble and you need to self-isolate because there's nothing you can do about it. But one of the studies actually found that when people between the age of 67 and 85, when they walked for 30 to 40 minutes a day, once again, they halved their chance of getting any kind of virus during that particular flu season or that cold season. So it shows you that even if you have elderly parents or elderly relatives or elderly friends, share this advice with them, because all is not lost. You know, the medical profession makes it feel like sometimes we're a passive victim of what's unfolding around us. But actually, we can be empowered no matter what age we are. The same with the sleep studies. So actually, whatever age you are, if we can lengthen and deepen the sleep, the immunity is massively boosted. Okay. Monica from Florida, welcome to you. Roman from Zagreb in Croatia. What is the challenge you just spoke of? I know some of us are joining us a bit late. So we have this 10-day challenge called the Coronavirus Challenge. The website is www.thecoronaviruschallenge.com. It's not quite live yet because we're waiting for our video editor to just upload the first day. And the first day will be on diet, an anti-inflammatory, immune-boosting diet. Okay? Day 2, we'll look at the latest science and research on activity and movement, energizing your body. Is it walking? Is it exercise? How much should I do to effectively boost my immune system? Day 3, energizing the body is day 3. Day 2 is nighttime routine and sleep. Yeah. So for those of you who didn't catch it earlier, there's a MEND protocol. M stands for mind, E stands for energizing the body, N stands for nighttime routine and sleep, and D stands for diet. So the first day of the coronavirus challenge will be all about an anti-inflammatory, immune-boosting diet and what you can do specifically, not just generalizations. Step 2, on day 2, a video will be released on sleep and how you can deepen your sleep to massively supercharge your immune system. Day 3 will be on energizing your body. How do we do that? Day 4, that's when we get into the really important stuff. Not that it's not all important, but the stuff that actually is neglected in the kind of mainstream, which is mind. What impact does our mind have on our immune system? And how can we use relaxation techniques, things like meditation, to actually calm the mind and boost our immunity, together with lots of free meditations that you can use. Day 5, we'll look at breathing. Breathing has been clinically shown to instantly improve our immunity. So what kind of breathing techniques can we use? Which organizations provide those breathing techniques, such as the Art of Living Foundation provides some excellent breathing techniques which have also been shown to boost the immune system, and I'll be sharing some with you as well. So that will be day 5. Day 6, we'll be looking at certain other aspects of our mind. So each day we'll have more and more different tools and techniques that we can use to boost our immunity straight away. Okay? So that's the coronavirus challenge. And the first day, the first video, will be ready at 8 p.m. UK time this evening. Hot off the press, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Okay, so just looking at some more of your questions here. Barbara from East Yorkshire, welcome to you. Maggie Thatcher, in fact, from Perth in Western Australia. Hello to you. Dina from New Jersey, always nice to see you, Dina. Zulema asks, is the advice to boost the immune system the same for children as it is for adults? Okay. Now, most of the clinical studies that we are sharing have been done on adults, but a few of them have been done on the elderly, and a few of them have been done on children. Okay. So in terms of those particular bits of advice, we certainly can look deeper into that if there's specific things that children can do. But there's no reason why what works for adults wouldn't work for children. But that's a great question, and we'll come back to you and we'll share more advice on that. Danny says, hello from the Netherlands. Jenny from Los Angeles, welcome to you. Once again, please do send us your hearts, your little emoticons across the screen. Always nice to see those. And please do share this on your Facebook groups, on your Facebook pages, and we can get this knowledge out there. Mayank from India, welcome to you. Lucy asks, with the walking, does it have to be brisk or is a gentle walk okay? The studies show that when we increase the percentage of our ability, our full ability, so 100% would be our maximum ability in terms of a cardio workout. And if we start hitting 50%, 60%, 70% of that full capacity, the higher we go, the better the effect on the immune system. Now, at the same time, we don't want to overdo it, okay? So we are moving, we're energizing our body, we're going for those walks. But I'd like you to do all of these changes in consultation with your doctor or your medical practitioner or your personal trainer. I don't want you to overdo it. So please do check everything that you do with your doctor, because it has to be personalized to your individual situation. Okay? But yes, if you have the capacity to, I'd love for you to make your walks more brisk. And many of us are obsessed with this idea of 10,000 steps. And did you know there's very little clinical evidence behind this idea of 10,000 steps? Instead, what's more important is 30 to 40 minutes of getting out of breath 5 times a week. But why not make it 7 times a week at the moment? So it's more about getting out of breath than the 10,000 steps. If you do 10,000 steps over the space of 5 hours and walk slowly, that doesn't have as beneficial impact as actually getting your system moving and working and getting the circulation going. Okay, so just finding some more of your questions here. Miriam asking, for sleeping, how do we deal with bad sleep? I'm waking up very early or having nightmares. Any advice? Right, many of us might be experiencing this right now. That it can feel like a dark cloud sometimes is hanging over us with the news and the situation that we're in. We're wondering about our personal health, the health of people around us, our financial livelihoods. All of these stresses are going to be there, and we can observe them within us. Now, what happens in sleep? The deepest sleep cycles are in the earliest part of our sleep. So let's say we go to sleep at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. The first 4 or 5 hours are when we have the deepest sleep cycles. And once we start getting to about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, our sleep cycles start getting shorter and lighter. And if there are a lot of subconscious worries in the mind that we haven't dealt with in the preceding day, then that means that we wake up and then we can't go back to sleep, because the mind decides that 5 o'clock in the morning is the best time to start obsessing about various worries that we have in our lives. And this may well happen with what we're seeing around us. One of the best ways of overcoming this is firstly regular meditation. Because what regular meditation does is allow the mind to release those worries before you sleep. So imagine your mind is like a pressure cooker. Throughout the day, pressures are building up. Emotions that we haven't processed, worries that we've had, thoughts that become obsessive, and they get pressured and build up in this pressure cooker. Now, what do? What happens to a pressure cooker? We have that little valve at the top, right, that releases the steam that comes out the top of that pressure cooker. Meditation or deep relaxation is releasing that valve at the top of the pressure cooker and releasing the steam. So when we first learn to meditate, we may find it feels like we're just sitting there and all we're having is lots and lots and lots of thoughts. Good. That means you're releasing the steam from your system from an observer perspective. And more the steam comes out, eventually the pan settles and you can start glimpsing those moments of stillness and peace. But until then, the steam has to come out. And right now, a lot of people, even experienced meditators, will find that their meditations are becoming a bit more tricky because there's a lot more emotional build-up to release and let go of. So longer, deeper meditations during this very challenging time in our civilization's history is incredibly important. That is our life jacket through these storms. The storms are here right now. And what does the captain say when the storms are here? The captain says, button down the hatches, turn off the engine, and be the calm in the eye of the storm. The storm is going to rage now. The tsunami is here. But as it comes, we maintain our calm and stillness and ride the waves. Okay? There will be some ups and downs, but the more calm and centered our mind is, the better we're able to connect with our deeper stillness within, and the easier it is to come out of this with a calm mind. And that can be some positive that you can see out of this. And the captain also knows that this too will pass. Sometimes storms come in our lives and we think, oh, this is terrible. And our minds eternalize the situation. The mind says, this is going to go on forever. I'm never going to break out of this. It's all over. The world's going to end. This is the nature of our minds, to eternalize a situation. But please know that human civilization has dealt with greater challenges in the past. And if we now be part of that jigsaw puzzle, we start making the difference ourselves, we can all come together and live that definition of spirituality almost, which is we are all one. We're all in this together. What difference can I make? How can I support the people around me? How can I boost my immune system and those of others and share this knowledge? Okay. So we ride out the storm and we know that this too will pass because it is not an eternal problem. It will pass and life will move on. It's just about staying calm and centered during the storm and helping others through it as well. And as Jerry Ann has just shared, be the change you wish to see in the world. If you want to see peace and harmony in the world, start with peace and harmony within. If you want to see us move from fear to optimism and hope about a new future for humankind, be that peace and optimism right now yourself. So let's see if you have any further questions here. Can we have that link to share for the Corona Challenge website? Yeah, it's not the Corona Challenge website, that's another beer. In fact, there is a beer challenge which is called the Corona Challenge, which we clearly don't want to be confused with because alcohol actually also does instantly drop your immune system. Right? So the website is www.thecoronaviruschallenge.com. Rebecca says, is cycling as effective as going for a walk? Yes, absolutely. There's been plenty of studies done on cycling and its fantastic cardiovascular effect. And also what we'd like you to do in the Coronavirus Challenge is share this with other people in terms of when we talk about diet, for instance, and we give you the foods that you want to reduce which impact on your immunity. And then we give you foods to increase in your diet. I'd love for you to share your recipes on our Facebook group. So we're going to have a brand new Facebook group called the Coronavirus Challenge Group. And on there, you can share recipes. And when you're making these delicious immune-boosting foods and meals, you can take photos of them and post them in that Facebook group so you can inspire others to also take care of their health. And perhaps when you're doing E for energizing the body. Where are you walking? Where are you going? What nature are you experiencing? Share photos and videos of those experiences on our Facebook page, on the Coronavirus Challenge Facebook page. And Jess, our marketing manager who's worked tirelessly to make this happen, in the comments section she has shared a link to the Facebook group so you can join that Facebook group and instantly start sharing information. Mayank says, how do we initiate sleep? It takes me hours to go to sleep. We have a special meditation called the Get Back to Sleep meditation. And in the Coronavirus Challenge, when you click on audios and meditations, that particular meditation is there. It's under sleep meditations. And many people who've had insomnia or difficulty sleeping, especially people we treat with chronic conditions, they found that when they listen to that meditation, they can't help but fall off into a deep trance and off to sleep. Yes, many people tell me how I have that ability to send them off to sleep. So I thought I may as well use that for good in the world. Okay, seeing if we have any more questions here. Eleanor says, good evening. Do you recommend starting the challenge in the morning? Does it help to start off fresh in the morning? I will leave that up to you. It's not about the timing. It's about when are you most supercharged and motivated to go for the coronavirus challenge. If you're feeling motivated right now, then once again, 8 p.m. UK time this evening, that's when the first video will be launched. So you may as well start this evening. The second diet video will be launched at 12 o'clock UK time tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening, the sleep video will be launched. So from then on, every 24 hours, a new video will be released with the new information. Okay, just some final questions before we end our Facebook Live. I do want to make sure I answer as many of your questions as possible. Jojo asks a question here. How can we make sure we're taking the necessary cleaning and protocol precautions without getting anxious about doing too much and getting obsessive compulsive disorder about it and causing anxiety? I'm in Bristol, hello. Hello to you, Jojo. What we want to do is follow those protocols in a happy-go-lucky manner. Yeah? So it's this very ancient principle of we take dynamic action with our bodies, with our hands. We take dynamic action, but from an indifferent, calm state of mind. So as we're cleaning the house, as we're taking the precautions, when our mind starts going down that tunnel of, oh, I wonder if this surface is dirty. Oh, I wonder if that person was sneezing over me. Oh no, I don't know if I'm cleaning it well enough. Take a deep breath in. Close your eyes, breathe out with a smile, and find your center. Yeah? Find your center and connect. Then breathe slowly and deeply as you continue with the activity. And make the activity itself a mindful activity. And many of you know who do the Gupta program, we have something called the slow motion technique. So do the activity slower, being aware of your breathing and the present moment sensations. And once again, you turn what is a chore or a very boring activity into something which is a practice, a spiritual practice of being able to center and calm your mind. So you can make everything into a partial meditation. Martha from New York State, hello to you. She says, I've been feeling overwhelmed in the past week with just survival issues, and I've barely been able to focus on the Gupta program retraining and the meditations and various things. How can we get back on track? So Martha, thanks for your question. So obviously any questions about the Gupta program we'll be answering in the webinars specifically for Gupta program retrainers. But what I will say is that reach out for help. Sometimes we don't reach out for the help and support that we need, especially when we're going through challenging times through logistical issues that we may be facing. So what I would love for you to do is reach out. You know, within us all, our natural human state is to help. We want to help others. Don't we feel so great when we're helping other people? So now, if you yourself are going through challenges, Don't feel bad about that, or don't feel bad about asking for help. In fact, they should be thanking you, because you are giving that other person an opportunity to help, to raise their consciousness and vibration, to be of a boon to this civilization. So reach out for help, and that's the best thing to do for other people around you. So we just see any final questions, and then we'll end this Facebook Live. Elizabeth asks, will the challenge also give advice not only to prevent coronavirus, but also advice when infected? Yes, so we are creating a video on that as well, in terms of what is the latest scientific protocols and advice on that. The reason we haven't produced that yet is because we are learning more and more about the virus each day. However, of course, there are lifestyle changes that we can make, as we've mentioned, regular deep relaxation or meditation, that can support our immune system even whilst we have a virus. But we don't want to be exercising. Okay, Hans is saying, you didn't answer my question. Okay, so please ask your question again. There's a list of about 100 comments that I'm just trawling through, so apologies if I've missed some of your questions here. Does warm water with turmeric in the morning support the immune system? Well, we have a whole section in the diet videos on turmeric. Yes, turmeric has got over 5,000 research studies that have been published on it. And most of them show that turmeric is a very powerful anti-inflammatory and a very powerful antiviral agent and antibacterial agent. So yes, I would love for all of us to be taking turmeric every day. And rather than me just give you some superficial ways of doing it, if you watch the videos in the coronavirus challenge, it goes through step by step what turmeric is, the effect it has on your immune system, and how much is the appropriate dose and how you take it. So you're saying there, take it with warm water each morning. Actually, there are ways that you can take it that can boost its absorption level. So we want to take turmeric, first of all, about 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon each day, with some black pepper. So black pepper increases the absorbency of turmeric by up to 1,000%, so it's pretty incredible. Thirdly, we want to have it with a fat. So it can be some oil. So in Indian cooking, traditionally it's been ghee, but you could take olive oil or some coconut oil with that particular bit of turmeric, and that will also increase its absorbency. And in the lab, they found that when they've added turmeric to kind of white blood cells in a petri dish, the effectiveness of those white blood cells at fighting off infections has increased by 3 or 4 times. I mean, isn't that incredible? The second benefit of turmeric, which we will explain in our videos, is that turmeric has been shown to modulate the inflammatory effect of pneumonia. So they've taken some studies where in a hospital environment where people have pneumonia, by taking turmeric they've been able to modulate the immune system, because remember we said the inflammation, the pneumonia, is caused by our own immune system overreacting and over-defending ourselves, which inflames the lungs, and through that inflammation of the lungs opens the opportunity for other infections to cause big problems. Turmeric has been shown to modulate that particular response in the lungs, and you'll be able to read some of the research studies there. And I hope that with that evidence, actually in mainstream healthcare right now, they could be giving turmeric to patients who are on respirators, who are feeling very ill, because there's plenty of evidence that that could reduce the inflammation that they're experiencing. Someone asking, is that turmeric actually a herb or can we use a supplement? If you use a supplement, if you use a capsule with turmeric in it, please make sure that it does have black pepper in it as well. Okay? And you have it when you're having some kind of food that has oil content or soluble fat. What happens if your body can't handle turmeric? Well, there are plenty of other anti-inflammatories and antivirals. So there is also ginger. So ginger is also a potent alternative. Some people talk about garlic. So although garlic overall is not something I recommend because it does overstimulate the nervous system and makes it harder to meditate, actually in the current situation, we do know there's quite a bit of evidence that garlic can reduce the incidence of infections. And as we said, it's not that we don't get the infection. We still get the infection. And our body still learns to recognize that virus again. But that infection does not turn into symptoms. We fight off the virus before it becomes symptomatic. And when we're symptomatic, we're more likely to infect other people around us. Can you open a capsule and add black pepper? Well, I assume so. So many capsules just have pure turmeric in them. So then you can probably add some pepper and a warm soluble fat. What can you do for exercise if you have osteoarthritis and can't walk due to pain? As I mentioned, on YouTube there are plenty of exercises that you can do if you have arthritis or other challenges which mean you can't walk. Many other stretching techniques, exercises, yoga, do what you can comfortably manage. Yes, thyme, T-H-Y-M-E, thyme is also an excellent antiviral. Yes, cinnamon as well, we've included that in there, and also oregano oil has been shown to be a potent antiviral as well. Okay. Good, so I think we'll end the questions there, and what we are going to do is we are going to schedule some regular Facebook Lives once we launch fully the Coronavirus Challenge, and we have all the videos there. We will do some regular Facebook Lives for you to ask your questions so that we can once again make sure that the challenge is working well for you and you understand what it is that you want to do with it. And secondly, it means that we can spread this knowledge to more people. So once again, the Coronavirus Challenge is a 10-day challenge to supercharge your immune system based on the latest scientific evidence and research that we've spent the last 20 years investigating. And we've put it all together into a step-by-step program of what you need to do. Day 1 will be an anti-inflammatory diet. Which foods decrease your immunity immediately and which foods are super immune boosters. Day 2, how can we deepen our sleep? Sometimes we can decrease our chances of a virus by up to 80% when we shift our sleep patterns. Day 3, energizing the body. So exercise, activity, movement. Once again, some studies have shown we can reduce our chances of a virus by 80%. Day 4, mind. We can reduce our chances by up to 50% by investing some time to calm our minds. And that can help us in general anyway. And there'll be many more surprises and information to come during the full 10 days. So I really hope that you share this information, share this Facebook Live on your own pages. And we also have a video on our homepage at thecoronaviruschallenge.com, which is a video that you can also share, a 5-minute video that explains what the Coronavirus Challenge is. So let's all come together. Let's act as one. Let's look after our own health, the health of people around us, and let's support healthcare systems around the world by not being that person that needs hospitalization, that needs external support, because we've taken charge of our health. And in that way, instead of a negative virus being spread, we become the antidote. We spread that positive virus, that positive viral message of you can do this, you can boost your immune system, you can resist this virus, you have this power within you. Let's take charge of this situation. So all it's left for me to do is to say thank you for joining me on this Facebook Live. It's been wonderful to be with you today. Please share this knowledge with friends and family. It's absolutely critical right now. And remember, one message that you send could be the difference between life and death, literally. If somebody has this virus right now, but has a poor immune system, and then goes on to have a chronic infection and inflammation, we could have been that change and that difference. If they'd been exposed to this knowledge and they had done the aspects of the MEND protocol, perhaps they could have inhibited the progress of the virus. And sorry, I know I want to finish, but a study just published today from Australia found that they actually kept testing someone's immune system every day to look at the response of the immune system to the coronavirus. And guess what? They were able to model the response of the immune system, and they were able to predict how quickly someone would overcome the virus and remove it from their system. And this was a reinforcement of the idea that actually this virus is no different to previous viruses. Our immune system can actually fight it off, just in the same way it fights off other colds and flus. So this is a groundbreaking study because it confirms to us that everything we're doing in the coronavirus challenge is justified. We can take charge. So thank you so much for watching. We will organise another Facebook Live as soon as we can, and we'll email you more information about it. And I hope that you give the coronavirus challenge 100%, that you really go for it, and you enjoy that better immune system. And remember, that better immune system will also mean your chances of heart disease and cancer and depression and diabetes and all the other killers, that also reduces as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.